Welcome to the end of the Freedom Factory episode where I talk to Trevor from Motion Auto TV, and he is such a good speaker, he's gonna say everything and I don't have to say anything. Go. Get close, Si. What are you gonna say?
Well, I was late for Drift Week. I love Corvettes. AC on the road trip was really nice. I was gonna case swap my S14 and drive it, and it's like full cage Pro-Am car, and I'm really glad I didn't.
What's better, a 2JZ Mustang or a Corvette?
The 2J Mustang's definitely cooler. This thing's better.
I don't know if it's cooler. This thing's cooler.
I mean, this is cooler. Like as a car, like this is a better car. The concept of the 2J Mustang, that's cool. It's like kind of.
It's a little heavy back there now.
You know, it's just one of those things. It's like 2JZ Mustang, but this works better together.
Do you want to tell them about your eye? Get in here, Si. Got a rock in the eye?
Yeah. So I was standing up on the not on the wall, behind the wall today, and the photographer was like standing there, like with a big old lens, like laying out like he's like a sniper or something. I was like, oh, he'd probably think it was cool since he's been taking cool pictures of everybody all week. I'm gonna take a picture of him and like tag him on Instagram. Like, you know, I thought that'd be tight. And so I like get out my camera, you know, I pull off my glasses, and then all of a sudden Alex Bowman, the NASCAR driver in his Corvette, comes in like clutch kicks and just this giant, like, I don't know if it was giant, it could have been like a pebble, but right in my freaking eyeball. And it hurt, so I couldn't.
I'm glad you didn't get hurt. Like, permanently.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean, I could see just
you still
fine.
have your eye.
Yeah, I mean, it has like a big old red spot on it, but I could see, I mean, like 30 minutes later, it was fine. It really hurt for about 30 minutes, but.
You didn't think about going to the hospital? You're like, no. I don't have insurance, I'm a YouTuber. Yep. Okay, so what was your first track on Drift Week, and why did you show up late, and why did I let you? So you skipped the first 3 days of driving?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? You're busy?
The car wasn't done. Well, I mean, it's man,
You could have started the car earlier.
I could have, yeah. But it's just one of those things. I don't do stuff until I have to, like last minute type stuff, and it's like I'm really bad at making decisions too, because I didn't even know I was gonna bring this car until like 3 weeks or a month before Drift Week, and then up until like the moment we actually like got in the car and like started driving away, I was still on the fence of whether I was gonna go or not. I was like, man, should we not go? I got a lot of things going on back here. There's just.
But you needed to come YouTube and be with friends.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, you know, it's part of it. You know? It's like
you got to use your cars for something.
Yeah.
Your channel is normally a build channel.
Well, I try to not have it a build channel, but you know, in Colorado, like we're talking about moving down here to Florida or like moving somewhere else where the tracks are open longer, just because it's, you know, it's hard to make content when it's 30 degrees outside and all the, you know, everything's closed, and then, you know, it's nice in Florida, they don't have as many crazy restrictions. You could actually have events and stuff, so. But yeah, Colorado's locking everything down again, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
I don't know, just all the quarantine stuff and, you know,
Can you go outside still?
Yeah, I mean, you could go outside, but, you know, as far as like bars, restaurants, salons.
Restaurants are closed again?
They're limiting stuff again, so. Or they're trying to do that stuff again, so. Yeah. I don't know, I try not to pay too much attention, but it's just nice to be out here in Florida and Drift Week. And
we did Drift Week before, right as coronavirus started, and now, right as we thought it was tapering off, and now they're gonna restrict stuff again.
Well, we might be doing it into a civil war, so.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That could be the third Drift Week pandemic disaster. Yeah. So, you've never had a Corvette. How do you like this thing?
Love it.
Is it better than all your other cars combined?
Yes.
So why do you have all your other cars? Do you need to build, like, why do you have a build channel if you have a Corvette now? Just like turn the channel off.
Why, man, I mean, you're kind of right. Like this, I guess I turned this into a build, you know, because like obviously like a 09 Chevy C6 Z06 with 17,000 miles on it, that's not a drift car. You know, that's like a $35,000 plus like car that's going to sit in somebody's garage or somebody's going to track it or whatever. Like the only reason that I got it was because it was cheap and it was wrecked. but it was the second time that it was wrecked because it was a previous flood car. So it was like really cheap then for kind of what it was. But so I guess I kind of turned it into a build by like rebuilding it, because like there's no way I was gonna go buy a $30,000 car to, you know, go drift it and do all this stuff with. Even though essentially that's what you'd like spend on a Pro-Am car, and this is probably better, other than a cage. But yeah, I mean, you're kind of right. I mean, it's kind of done at this point, other than like make it.
You could just rewrap it every week.
I could do that.
And you could black out the thumbnail
and do it.
Just be like, what does it look like this week?
Do a wrap reveal.
Yeah.
I could do like a wheel reveal, like put multiple exhausts on it, and I don't know. It's just a good car. I'm like excited to have a car that's just like that good that I could just. I literally drove it for 20 miles and then just like drove here with it. So
yeah, you wouldn't do that with a normal drift car, not like a Pro-Am car.
I mean, I kind of did that with the Mustang, but I already knew the engine.
It was a full interior car though.
Yeah. So.
All right, let's talk for real. Let's do hard questions. One, how's YouTubing going?
It's it has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
So
can you do this forever?
I mean,
what are the ups and downs?
The ups and downs are that you kind of get burnt out. You know, doing. I mean, I've been building cars and doing all this stuff on YouTube for about 10 years. It's full time for about 7 years now. But you kind of fall into this like rut of you're like, okay, well I have these cars. What do I do now? Like, what do I do with this car? I've drifted, I've done this stuff like where you run out of content with that car. It's like kind of beating a dead horse. So kind of, and especially now, I felt like I got away with a lot of, not mediocre stuff, but like not having a crazy deadlines and stuff. Like, I think I talked to you about it a couple years ago. I was like, oh, the nice thing about YouTube is you can take your time building a car and doing all this other stuff. But now there's so many crazy content creators. Like look at Hoonigan. You know, they have a full-time staff that's dedicated to just building cars. And they build stuff super quick, and they have a team, and they have all that other stuff. So now, like, I'm in that same space as them, trying to build cars and trying to do all this stuff and keep the attention span of people, because, you know, as you know, attention spans are just getting, you know, shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
So you kind of just end up running through builds and kind of running through cars, and then almost running out of stuff to do with it, you know, because like I want to build a bunch of drift cars, you know, but then what am I going to do with all my other drift cars, you know, that I just built?
Waffle them off.
Yeah, do the old Facebook waffle.
Do the old waffle.
But so yeah, there's that. You know, the coronavirus like ad rev stuff, and then I guess just like with the whole burnout thing, like losing creativity, you know, where you're like you try so many different things and then you feel like it didn't catch or didn't go anywhere, then you try something else and then that didn't work, so then you try something else and then that kind of works. So then you scale into that, but then you get bored of that, so then you want to do something else. So I don't know. That's kind of the ups and downs of YouTube, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then I guess like figuring out where to go from here. So like I'm like hiring more of my friends now, like to do like merchandise stuff, you know, because that's a big part of it, because I make more off of doing t-shirts and stuff on the side than like actually, you know, the ad rev, which it used to be only ad rev, which that was like kind of hard anyhow, you know. But
you're becoming a mini Adam.
Trying, yeah. I mean, he's got the format down. He's doing a good job, and he's killing it. So.
Before we go start painting the Christmas tree, I just want to thank you guys. The new steering wheels sold out in 6 minutes. But we still do have a bunch of Black Friday deals going on. The buy two, get one t-shirts, and then the super cheap mystery bundles that
I think that's just, that is kind of the format, you know, that you kind of have to go into if you want to escalate it and keep progressing it.
I'll put a link to all the Black Friday deals in the description.
It's good because you have a baby and everything. Do you have 2 babies now?
Yeah.
Are the second one was born?
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts a fire under your butt to do stuff.
Yeah.
You got to make money. You don't have the ability to be like the dirtbag drifter that just lives on couches and everything. You have a wife and children and got to do it.
And yeah. Bunch of money. Now I'm like have employees and stuff too, so you got like payroll that you got to do, and it's a whole different ball game now. So yeah, that's the things that I've been doing, I guess, over the last year, is like restructuring everything from being like a me to like a we, you know, like really like getting a team together, because doing this stuff like working on the car all night until 5 in the morning and then driving here, that's no fun, you know. But if you have people with you that support you, and you know, or they're filming with you and they're working with you on the car, you know, then that stuff makes it worth it. So, and again, I probably wouldn't be doing it if I was doing it myself, because I'd just be burnt out by now. But
the burnout thing's strong. It's so hard to stay doing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, then trying to stay relevant too. You know, like I said, like it's weird when you try certain content, like my Honda Civic, like drag racing content does really well for what it is, but you know, there's not much more, like I'm at that stage with a car where it just gets exponential. You know, it's like I got it to almost an 8-second pass, but to get it to do like deep 8s, I have to pull the whole car completely apart and redo everything, you know?
And it's too much effort to go a little teeny
Yeah,
tiny
so I
faster.
think like that's where you just kind of end up running through cars. Like you're like, okay, well I got this car to this point, like kind of kick it to the side, let's bring in something new, let's do something else. You know, and again, there's just so many really, really good creators that are putting out consistent high quality content that are coming in that are like, that are fresh, you know, that only have a year or two under their belt and they're stoked on all this stuff, you know, versus...
And you're burnt out already.
Now I'm like a little, like halfway burnt out, you know, so... trying to focus more on the merchandise side of stuff.
Instagram, but I also have some new but open box parts like turbos and stuff that I think I'm gonna list on the site. I'll get you guys with some sick deals.
You know, kind of build like the branding of it and, you know, eventually move into, you know, doing other branding and t-shirts and fulfillment and everything for other YouTubers. That's kind of the goal. So to kind of scale back on this, but like bump up the quality. So like, pull down the quantity but up the quality of the videos and the build content and stuff. And so I'm not stressed out to upload a video every 2 or 3 days, like, oh, we gotta, you know, half-ass this thing just to get it to do this so that I can make a video about it, you know. Then it'll be like, all right, well, I don't need a video, you know, let's wait until we have a solid thing, or get everything scheduled so that way it's consistent, you know, and we have a backlog of stuff.
You were gonna pull your family into stuff and try and do more of like a overall vlog instead of just car stuff. Did that ever work, or did you just pull back on that?
I kind of pulled back on that too. It just became trying to juggle 2 channels, you know, 1 channel alone. I think it would be different if I had a full-time filmer, like at the shop with me, so that's kind of the Motion Auto video, and then this is like the Trevor video, because I really do want to pull the family into it and like do those type of vlogs and, you know, go travel and do trips and stuff like that, just because not only is it like saving memories, but it kind of pushes you to get out and do more stuff, you know. But yeah, just trying to do both of them. It was like I would get to the shop and I would be filming for like my vlog, but then I would just set the camera down and then I would work all day and didn't really film for Motion Auto because I had like this vlog video in my head and didn't even film for that, so then I didn't get any videos. So I just kind of put it to the side for a little while and, you know, trying to do a little bit more, focus a little bit more on the Motion Auto stuff again, because that's kind of the baby. But
how many times can you distract yourself from the main channel and try something new that you don't carry through? There's so many mosquitoes, sorry people, we keep swatting them.
yeah.
Do you get like defeated and feel like you're not doing well and pull back and change direction? Because oftentimes, like say with the Lone Star Drift channel, I probably could have just deleted it and started over and like maybe done better or done something different, but I keep banging my head against the exact same wall because it's what I do. I'm an event host.
Yeah.
You know, I do the same type of thing. The Lone Star Drift channel will probably never take off. I'm never gonna just turn myself into a character like Cletus or somebody that probably the audience wants. You know, they want comedic value. They want a very specific type of thing. They want me blowing up ridiculous vehicles. And you know, I don't really build ridiculous vehicles.
Yeah.
I don't build anything at all, but you know, I don't have them. It's just like, I like my simple life, and that doesn't really, it's not conducive to what YouTube wants. YouTube wants like Lamborghinis doing stuff and, you know, crazy stuff going on, and I'm just like the most basic thing ever. Like I won't even modify my Humvee. I just kind of like go tinker around with it. People are like, do a Duramax swap. You're like, I'm not doing a Duramax swap.
Yeah.
I'll just drive 50.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that, because like I feel like the whole, you know, vlog channel, whatever, you kind of have to invest in that, and kind of, you really do have to invest in it, or it's not going to go anywhere. You know, and then trying to break off into something, you feel like you have this like halfway grown up baby over here that you like have to almost like ignore to try this, but like at what expense do you kill that, you know, to try something else? And that's where it's kind of a hard thing, because I've thought that same thing. I was like, man, I feel like if I, taking what I know now into a fresh channel, starting from the bottom essentially, but, you know, be consistent, you know, because with my channel, it's like, I'm at like 500 and some thousand subscribers right now. But like, I feel like I have like 100,000 from like diesel truck videos, you know, and like 100,000 Honda Civic people, and then like 100,000 240 people, and then like 200 and some thousand people that subscribe just because I made a time-lapse video of building my Supra. You know, so like I feel like that that's almost hurt me in a sense because it's too diversified. So when YouTube throws out the notification, sends it to 100,000 of those 500,000 people, only a certain percentage of each group is interested in any one of the videos that I upload. It's not like everybody's subscribed for Corvette videos and all I do is upload Corvette videos and they see a Corvette video and they're like, man, I'm gonna go watch that. It's like, they subscribed for diesel truck stuff 3 years ago. Now I'm messing with an all-wheel drive Civic. You know, so they're like, meh.
So it kills your channel algorithmically.
By the algorithm, yeah. And I've...
That's brutal.
Well, so the super video, I've literally gained 170,000 subscribers.
Way to show off. That's bigger than my channel times, I don't know, 2.
But like in a weird sense, so that
one video. This is ridiculous.
So this video,
he's complaining.
I am.
You're literally complaining you have too many subscribers, Trevor.
Well, algorithmically, it hurt my channel.
Yeah.
Is why I'm complaining or whatever, or you know, talking about it. Is so the video, the super video, I made a 10-minute time lapse video of basically restoring my Supra that was like a junkyard, burnt up, like all body panels, missing everything, to like what it is now, which is like basically like a show car, street car, single turbo, makes good power, has AC, like it's a nice Supra now. That video has almost 19 million views on it right now, which is just ridiculous. And I've gained 180,000 subscribers just from that video, like just that one in the last year. So when people, in the watch time on it's really low. It's a 10-minute video, 3 minutes, you know, of engaged watch time. So it's like I gained 180,000 subscribers from people that want to watch a nice, pretty 10-minute video without me talking. I wasn't really in the video. It was just me like time-lapsing and showing a lot of progress in 10 minutes. Whereas
and that's the opposite of your channel.
Yeah, and you watch my channel now and it's literally like me just like vlogging in like part 20, you know, like going for the first drive type of stuff. So like again, then when YouTube sends out that notification, those people aren't interested. So then it just kind of crushes it. It just pushes it to the side and it's like, we'll show it to these people that are actually that are like bare minimum interested, but we're not going to push it any further than that. So yeah, that's kind of a tough one. I've thought about that a lot in the the past year or so since that video has happened. And then I made more videos like that. I did a 10-minute Civic video. I made a 10-minute Mustang video. Same thing. They did great. You know, like I think the Mustang has 2 million. The Civic has like I think like 2 point something million. It was like gained a lot of subscribers, but didn't gain quality subscribers that are here for me.
Maybe you just need to make 10-minute build videos that go viral and that's all you do every week.
There's just no time.
It's a joke.
Yeah, no, like I've thought about that. You're like, well, how could I make this happen? I was like, literally, you can't just build it. It's gonna take me a year to get all that footage to make it. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's like, how much effort do you keep putting into that? You know, like, do you start over with a fresh channel? Do you? So
I don't know. I'm so exhausted, Sai. Or I should say YouTubers. I talked to Sai because he's behind the camera, but I should really be talking to the audience.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at this YouTube thing. So do you see a lot of people like...
Switch to this side.
We're turning this way. We're professional lighting YouTubers. Better lighting?
Oh yeah.
What are you passionate about right now?
The kids. I like the family.
You could do a kick-ass YouTube channel on children. Those kids that play with video, like, you know, toys make millions and millions of dollars playing with toys. There's probably everybody trying to do that channel now and it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've thought about that too. Like, there's family vlog channels that do really good. There's channels that, like, what is it? Not homestead. It's like kind of homesteading, but like off-grid living. There's van life channels.
Oh, yeah.
There's all these other type of things that are like...
Living in a van with your family.
Yeah, like, I'm halfway interested in that, but like...
You lose your whole audience, though, probably.
Yeah. So
you're trapped by your audience. There's some people though, like Adam.
We usually pride ourselves in super fast shipping.
Adam did a pretty good job. Like, they're there for him and his journey. They're not there necessarily for the cars, I don't think. A lot of his people will just watch whatever he does. I could be wrong with that.
Well, and I think a lot of that is just it's kind of like watching, not like a soap opera, but it's like watching like the hustle. You know, like watching how he's able to make all these moves and all this, do this type of stuff, and kind of like more business minded. One of my friends, TJ Hunt, he's done a killer job at like basically scaling everything. I met him at SEMA 2015, we literally were standing there right next to each other, and we both had like 25,000 subscribers. And like at this point, he's like, I think almost 2 million or something. But like the hustle that he has and like the business and the moves that he's made, it's just crazy. Like, and I don't
understand.
Oh, I mean, just like the brand deals and just how he's done with his merchandise and just, I mean, everything. It's just crazy, like the scale that he's taken everything to. And it's really like inspiring to see that and know that that's, you know,
Is it different than Adam's?
Yeah.
Or similar?
I would say it's better than Adam's as far as growth wise.
Good thing Adam doesn't watch my channel.
No, I think Adam would say it too. Like he would say that, you know, TJ's really done a great job at just taking it and just run with it and like not letting off the gas, you know?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, I felt like I get comfortable with stuff, you know?
I was talking to Alexi from Noriaro, and we were both talking about how like YouTube is a young man's game. Like it's tough to be like all throttle when I'm 41 years old, you know, like all throttle and all in. I'm just like, I don't need that money. I don't need those subscribers. You're like, sometimes I don't post for 2 months.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't do whatever. Like I'm not a YouTuber.
Yeah.
But I have my foot in the pond and I've had it in there for years.
Yeah.
Making stuff. I was on Vimeo beforehand and FTP and sharing stuff. But man, you guys just like, you're hustle bus.
Yeah.
I don't know how you keep up with it.
And I feel like I'm not enough, you know? Like I feel like I could push more, and again, having the family and all that stuff, like that's changed everything, you know, in the past like 3 years, you know?
You hustling is me, like, I'm like, Trevor could smile in his videos.
Yeah.
You just sit there and you talk very like monotone and you don't smile. Your deadpan face, like now. You could just be like, "What's up, guys?" Like that.
Yeah.
I could just imagine you just your channel one day just starting like that, just like, "Wow, Trevor smiles now."
That would be weird.
Yeah, but that would probably help your channel blow up.
Oh, yeah.
Just smiling.
There's
You ever thought about smiling?
I feel like I smile when I drive stuff when it's done.
Yeah.
When I do like a first rip or something.
But your whole channel's a build.
Yeah, the whole channel's the build. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, like energy, you know. But like I've never felt like I've been one to like put it on for the camera, you know, so to speak. Like,
I'm not either.
Anybody who like meets me in person, they're like, "Oh man, that's like
Same guy.
that's same dude," you know, like. So, yeah. I mean, I've thought about trying, but it's just.
Have you ever told the story of how we met? On video?
So I
Tell the story real quick to the camera.
How did we met? How do you think we met?
Oh, did we meet before that we actually met? You contacted me on Facebook and said, could you come to Japan with me? Is that accurate?
No.
Oh God,
Oh,
how did we
damn.
meet?
He does this a lot. He never remembers when he meets
How did we
people.
meet? Was it at SEMA?
No. Man, you're bad at this.
Oh,
yeah,
so
when
bad.
did we meet?
At Lone Star Drift. So I brought my S14 down when it had a V8 in it in like 20.
Oh, before you came to Japan with me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was like 2012 or 2013.
What color was it?
Black, silver, and green. Same color. Same thing.
Oh.
I met you at Mineral Wells. It was like a super.
But I was probably busy, and there was tons of drivers.
You're busy. You're
Okay.
busy as hell. Like you were just walking around, and you're like, oh hey, like I was like, hey, I'm Trevor. Like I'm from Colorado. You're like, oh cool, I'm Aaron. Like I run the events, and like, all right, like.
Bye. Okay,
Like,
that doesn't count as meeting. That's
No, I know,
just
but,
like in
and-
passing.
So then what ended up happening is you were in Colorado Springs. You were looking. I think I went down to like another Lone Star event. And I don't know if we ended up talking about YouTube stuff, or I think we ended up talking about YouTube stuff a little bit. And then I think that's when you finally got interested in me, and then you like remembered my name. Then you came up to Colorado, and there was like
That's not true, but keep going.
There was
I didn't remember your name until after I spent a week with you in Japan.
yeah, but then you went to you were in Colorado like searching for, I don't know what it was. We were gonna do like some mountain drifting or something, and then there was like this party, like this house party. And me and you just sat there and talked about YouTube the whole time. And that's
Really?
actually, I told you about Drift Week then. I'm the founding father
Really?
of Drift Week.
Okay, I believe that.
But we talked about it then, and I was like, I don't know who we would ever. Do you remember that?
No.
It was at like Thirsty Rob's house.
I remember
in
Thirsty
Thailand.
Rob's house.
Yeah. So like there was
This was
like,
before Japan still?
yeah.
Wow. So was Sai there?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was just the one where we went like street drifting and all that stuff.
I think so. But I think it was like the year
That
before.
didn't,
I think it was the year.
Japan. Japan predated that. That was before.
But I think we ended up talking at SEMA, and then I don't know how we ended up going to Japan.
I just remember a random person messaging me, and can I come to Japan? I was like, sure, here's my itinerary. and you just came, and we didn't meet until we were at the airport. I thought I think that's how we met.
But this was after.
Because that must have been like 2014 or something.
This was after. No, we went to Japan in 2015.
Okay, 2015. I've been before that too, so I don't remember the timeline.
So you went before that, but I was there when you first
went to Ebisu.
The first time you went to Ebisu. But yeah, I think the Thirsty Rob's house was. We talked a lot about it then, and then it was SEMA. I think we hung out a little bit at SEMA. Because I was going to Japan with you.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But yeah, I think.
And then we probably left straight from SEMA to Japan.
I think so.
Okay, fair enough.
Or I think I actually met you at LAX.
That's what I remember. I remember just randomly meeting him at LAX, and I was just like, hey, and we met and just like jumped on a plane together and then just like lived with each other for the next 2 weeks. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and then I didn't forget him after Japan. But I do remember, by the way, I remember my first experience with him like YouTubing. Cody Slack and I were like making fancy video, raw video on an A7S, you know, like onto an external recorder, you know, mics, doing everything, setting up interviews and lighting kits and trying to make that fancy back to basics video. And he's over here YouTubing in the YouTube app on like an iPhone 5, just like recorded or like straight up to the internet.
Well, yeah,
I was just blown away. And we bought a Wobble 3.
Yeah.
A wobble camera for you. It's a weird image stabilization camera that you hold like this, and it had a lens that wobbled. Is that right?
Yeah, the Sony the X30. It's still in. It's in here. It's my dad cam.
Oh, that thing is so funny. It still works?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's a different one. I ran that one over.
So he was asking me how to do video stuff, and like Cody Slack and I were like, "Will you do this and this and this?" And then he just like owned us all in video so hardcore. He has a huge channel, super successful.
Well, I think at that time I had like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that was like, probably bigger than me at the time.
I think
I was posting to Vimeo.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird. I mean, Japan was a cool trip. Like I wish we could go back soon. Like, that'd be cool.
I was gonna say I do go back all the time. It's great.
I know you do. But all the cars got expensive, and then I bought that cheap JZX.
Yeah.
That poor thing.
No matter what the price of the cars would be, you would say they're expensive though.
No.
Yeah, well, mine was like $5,800 in American currency or something like that when I got it.
Oh man, that was.
And you were like, "Oh, that's so expensive," and you bought a $1,900 car. And now you'd probably kill for my car's price.
Oh man.
Back then, kind of thing.
I'd probably give you $5,800 for it how it is, all trashed up.
Yeah, it's probably worth it because it's such a good drift car now and it's all sorted.
Yeah.
I mean, just the transmission and engine are probably worth that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyways. Anything you want to talk about before we're done? We just chat, by the way. There's no point to this. Like, we know Drift Week stuff. We've talked about Drift Week a million times on here already. We're not talking about that. Like, we're just talking about life.
So I really like Drift Week. I hate doing it to myself, but it's cool. Like, I feel like Drift Week's kind of like my time to shine as like the guy that like builds cars. You know, because it's like normally you build cars and you take them on a trailer to an event. And then you beat the crap out of it and it breaks and then you load it up and you go home and fix it. Whereas this is like literally like you build it in a super tight time frame, which is,
you don't have to do.
You don't have to do that, but that's like what I do to myself. So you spend like rush the build, do all that other stuff, but then you got to drive it across the country and it has to last and like get you places. But then you also have to know how to drive. I mean, I could come out here and spin out, but like it's cool to like be able to, I guess, kind of showcase like.
Yeah, you can do all of it.
Yeah,
you're an excellent driver, excellent builder.
Yeah, and that's like, I guess.
Excellent driver down the street.
Oh, I could drive down the street.
Forever.
Yeah.
So hard down the street.
Yeah. But like, I think that's what's cool about Drift Week, is it's kind of, I would, who was I talking to about? It'd be Levi. We were talking about doing like a budget challenge where you like fly in somewhere, you just land randomly.
That's what I used to do with off-road vehicles. And remember we did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would fly in and just buy an off-road vehicle and we'd go camping. That's a lot lower stakes other than the hike out.
But it would be cool to do like a group of us. We talked about this before, like land in LA and then have like the route set up to end in Florida.
You can
or
do
like
that
New
on
York.
the next Drift Week to make it harder on yourself. The one thing that I think that Drift Week would suck about that is we're going to so many good tracks and sometimes we're linking them together and like we have Matt Field and Chelsea and Luke and all these amazing drivers with us. If you had a crap box like 300D Mercedes that you're like, oh, this is gonna be on my drift car.
Yeah.
And you just like drive around like an idiot, you're like, that wasn't much fun.
Yeah, or it spins or it doesn't have angle or it doesn't have support.
Or no power.
Yeah.
So like you do want a car that's pretty good for this. You want to be able to rip, and you want to be able to tandem with people. You want to be able to show off your skills and be happy with everything.
I think the Corvette is like, I think there's a reason there's like 7 or 8 Corvettes.
Yeah, because they're really good.
Week. Yeah.
It's going to be all Corvettes next time.
You think?
Yeah, here at the Freedom Factory today, I don't think there's ever been more than 6 Corvettes drifting at a time together in tandem. I think that's a world record.
I think so too. They're just good. Mm-hmm. Like this whole trip, I have not done anything to it.
Yeah, because you weren't on the whole trip. It was easy.
I've just changed tires.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I saved myself a lot of street driving by, I think I saved a total of like 20 some hours of driving.
Yeah, because you didn't go.
But I was wrapping it.
Next time I'm making a rule that if you don't show up to the first day, you can't show up to the next day. I told him that too. And he's just like, oh, Aaron's fine. Aaron's not going to kick me out.
I just figured I'd show up.
Yep.
I mean,
was right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what? I swallowed a mosquito. Gross. What do you want next drift week to be?
I think it would be cool to have like, so I did Rocky Mountain Race Week, which is drag cars. It's basically like drag week. I was initially going to take my all-drive Civic with a trailer and all that other stuff, and I was hopefully going to run like, back like 9-second passes in my Civic. And that's basically, it was like 5 days in Colorado, and there was drive days in between on some of the tracks. But again, that's just drag racing. So you only have to run the car for like 10 seconds, but then drive it to the next track. This is like you're beating on it for like,
Forever.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
Yeah. And but one of the cool things about that is there was like destinations, and like it was like landmarks and stuff like that. So you there was like a route, so you couldn't drive like major highways and stuff. And a lot of that's because like a lot of the cars, like there was a car that ran like 200 miles an hour like on that trip, like big crazy, big block, twin turbos, nuts. Like the rear tires were like this wide. But anyhow, so they keep them off major highways just in case you break down, so you're not on the interstate and stuff. But there was like a planned route, so it was like kind of like a scavenger hunt of some sort. So like your GPS wouldn't take you there. You're like, okay, drive 3.2 miles and take a right.
You're just trying to make my life harder.
But like that was cool though.
Life is already hard enough.
Because then you kind of end up driving with a group of people, and then you got to stop and take a picture, and then that was part of the challenge. You had, before you turned in your time slip for the day, you had to show them the picture, like, hey, I drove the route. This is what we did. I think something like that would be kind of cool. Just maybe more scenic stuff, but also at the same time, it's nice to just get on the highway and just blast to the next town. And if you break stuff.
And this is all, I'm just seat time guy in tandem. I just push that stuff. I'm afraid that if I spent more time doing gimmicky stuff like that, it would detract from just what the real thing is. Like I go to drift events sometimes, I'm sure you've done this, and maybe the event organizer spent all their money doing fancy tents and like models and like a photographer or something, and they don't even know how to set up a track or didn't get a good track. Or, any of those things. They don't focus on what the drivers really want. They focus on something else. I want to make sure I don't lose sight of that.
Yeah. I think
hosting drift events like this is already so hard.
Yeah. I think one thing that would be kind of cool is like accommodations, but that would be such a pain for you to like.
Do you mean the accommodations of the Airbnb rooms that I bought for you and you didn't show up or pay me for? Do you mean those, which we had, which were huge, beautiful houses?
I missed out on that.
You did.
The first ones.
We totally did have accommodations, and then I canceled them because you didn't show up.
Yeah.
I'm throwing him under the bus.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I told him I'd pay him for it, and he said he was just used to losing money, so
yeah,
that was okay. But
I'll take his YouTube bucks.
I mean, accommodations.
I'm sorry, T-shirt sales now.
Well,
T-shirt sales.
Like one of the things I think is the best is Careless Catering. That's been like amazing. For
I did add that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's awesome.
To explain to the YouTube audience, we have catering at all the events, and at NOLA and some of the places we were for 2 days, they did breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so we never had to leave the track, and we lived at the track for 2 days, which was amazing. I never left.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Keep going.
I think that was really cool. Like lodging or like stuff set up like how it was at NOLA, where you had a place to stay if you wanted to, and if people didn't want to, they go get hotels. Like that stuff's kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool if there was like a camp out thing where you like had to camp with the track, but I mean Florida is so damn hot.
Yeah, I don't want to camp in Florida.
No.
And the mosquitoes.
Gator town. Yeah, we're getting eaten by mosquitoes.
There's a track gator around here.
I can do more things like that. I need to. So for the next Drift Week, I'm gonna go. This one, I went and spent a whole week touring around the Smoky Mountain National Forest. Went to Tail of the Dragon. Went to a bunch of extra locations there. Went and checked out some tracks. I did a bunch of research and development for it. When you say I have to research the routes and stuff, that means I need to spend, a week on location at minimum, a whole day at each track, checking it out, talking to the owners, touring it and stuff, plane tickets to get to each place, rental cars, and then also to do the path. Go to all those places and then develop the path. That's about 2 weeks in person. And the entry fees would have to reflect that and go up because the entry fees already went up for Drift Week 2 substantially. So I need to find a happy medium, because I don't want this to be gumball stuff where it's super expensive and Brandon Wicknick and Dan don't want to do it. I want to find that mellow in between. And right now it's still really, really cheap. I mean, considering it's expensive, but
No, it's definitely cheap considering what it is, especially people in my position. It's a really, really good event to pitch to sponsors, because they're getting their logos on the side of the car for so long in front of so many people in different channels and all that type of stuff. And again, like tool companies, that just makes sense. Like parts on cars, you're like, I'm gonna go drive it across the country and show you parts every day, how they're working. And I think that works really good for for us, so like for me, I'm always going to try to come to these type of events and stuff. So I don't know if it's going to be in a different car every time or not, because I don't know if I like.
You should run this one next time again.
I like
this one. Hasn't gotten the whole taste of it. This car's good.
I want to bring a trailer next time. That was the one thing I didn't have time to do. I had a trailer hitch. That's why eTrailer is on here. eTrailer.com. But I had a trailer hitch and the wiring and everything, and I had a trailer lined out, and we just ran out of time to get it sorted. But
makes sense. You know what I really want you to do, but you're not going to do it? Build a Tesla for it. Go get a wrecked Tesla and make a Tesla do Drift Week. That would break the internet, but it might get you too many viewers that are only interested in Teslas, and then they're like, I don't like combustion engines. I'm not going to watch that channel. Oh, something about, would you do a Tesla or no?
I would try it, yeah.
Okay. So, jumping subjects real quickly. I heard the Diesel Brother dude's got a huge fine from the government. Do you ever worry about working on diesels and all the race cars and gutting them, emissions and doing all this stuff, that you're ever going to get in trouble? Or do you think that every just flies under the radar?
I mean, I don't know. I don't do any of that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
There you go. You don't show it off like the Diesel Brother guys?
I don't know what their deal was.
They got hit for $1 million in fines, didn't they?
And it wasn't actually even the government that was coming after him. It was this private company that was for clean air or something. But I think they just got in trouble for promoting the image of black smoke and stuff like that. I don't know the details of it.
Neither do I. But you don't worry about that? I always worry about it with drift events and smoke and everything else, but I don't think we're there yet in Texas. I don't have to worry about it too much, but I think California maybe one day.
Yeah. I mean, this thing still's got the cats on it. It's federally legal.
Yeah, sure.
No, it is.
Absolutely. I believe you. Good story.
And in Colorado, we don't have emissions where I'm at.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that federally it's not illegal. Okay, are we all done? You want to talk about anything?
What do you want to talk about?
We already talked about everything.
Did you like having me on Drift Week? Did you enjoy it?
Having you on Drift Week? Well, I missed you for the beginning. No, Trevor's one of my favorite people. Trevor is always happy, always gets along.
Don't say I'm always happy, but I'm always. I feel like
I can't tell when you're not unhappy.
I'm even. We were having this conversation with somebody the other day about really high highs and really low lows. You know? And I just was like, man, I feel like I don't experience that or this. I feel like I don't get crazy, super excited, ecstatic, I'm on top of the world. But then I also don't have a low low. I feel like I'm just kind of I'm rolling hills, When
we were in Japan together, you were just slow and steady. It was good.
Yeah.
We never had an argument. Have we ever argued? Mm-hmm. No, I mean super easy.
Well, I think I'm realistic, and I don't know. I just try not to do dumb stuff, and I understand if you're doing something the reason you're doing it, if you're yelling at us in the driver's meeting, I know you're not yelling at me, it's just stuff like that. So all
right, well, let's be done. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We're exhausted. I want to say a special thanks to bcracing.com. Go look, well, not .com. I don't know what I'm doing. BC Racing, they're a coilover company. Go to their website, buy things. Y-Plate Imports, also go to their website, buy things. They've supported the event. Super huge shout out to Trenton. And also ECU Master, go to the website, buy things. ECU Master is super supportive. The owner of the company here in the USA supports Lone Star Drift, supports our drivers. He supports guys like Adam and Formula D and other Formula D drivers and all kinds of cool stuff. So please go support the sponsors that create this content for you. You are a BC guy, right?
BC and ECU Master.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, shout out. Boom. Look at all this excitement between the two of us. You can't even control this excitement. He's smiling.
Crazy.
Look at him smile.
This is
Crazy, all
real
the
Good
stuff.
excitement.
job. Get his eye one more time. All right, let's go, Trevor. I almost called you Trenton. Get out of here.